Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any video from my channel.
Yo! Welcome to LCameraTV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share some cool things like Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and wherever else. And guys, don't forget to hit the bell notification, man. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss a video. I upload randomly, so I don't want you guys to miss out. So definitely hit the bell icon, man. When you see a squeaking lines, you know you have been notified. And guys, it's the middle of the season, and certain things have been coming out, man. A certain player, a rookie of ours, has been rated the best at his position by Pro Football Focus, so we got to talk about that. Another player, another rookie, has been, getting commented by a Hall of Fame coach and, saying that he deserves an award, so we definitely got to talk about that. And the Carolina Panthers, stayed pat before the trading deadline, and, we got to break that down also, man. So we got a lot to talk about, so let's get started. DJ Moore was rated as the best wide receiver on Pro Football Focus as far as the rookies go. And I know a lot of you guys are surprised and shocked by that because obviously, Calvin Ridley's been balling. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys think, hey, Calvin Ridley, should be in that situation. But there's a reason. There's a method to the madness. And the reason why is because, one, obviously Calvin Ridley's getting passes thrown to him by MVP candidate or former MVP in Matt Ryan. But also, he has Julio Jones there. So he gets, one-on-one coverage most times. He's going against the third best receiver because he's the third best, he's the third receiver on the, on the depth chart behind Mohamed Sanu and Julio Jones. And then, his offensive coordinator is the same offensive coordinator he had in college in Steve Sarkisian from Alabama. So he has a lot of chips in his favor. He has the deck kind of stacked towards him. Whereas DJ Moore had the kind of opposite of that. DJ Moore did not get on the field right away. They had him basically sitting behind Torrey Smith, Jarius Wright, and Devin Funchess. So he kind of had to work for playing time. Slowly he got playing time more and more and more. But, when he got his opportunities, he made the most of it. You know what I'm saying? So not only did, he had to be behind Jarius Wright and everything like that, whatever. But when in the Atlanta game, when his number was called, he caught the ball and took it 51 yards for a touchdown. When the Washington game, he did not play so well, whatever, in the beginning. He fumbled a few times, but then once he got that out of his system, he played well, and against the Baltimore Ravens, he had 5 receptions for 90 yards and, 1 rush for 38 yards. So when he got the ball in his hand, he produced. And, obviously they looked at that. They look at, your situation, your surrounding, whatever, how effective you are with the snaps and the catches that you get. And he is by far the most effective, you know what I'm saying? So Calvin Ridley, had a mega game. I think he had a game where he had like 100 and some yards. He has like 6 touchdowns. He's like, I think 392 yards, whatever. And that's great. And I'm not taking anything away from Calvin Ridley, but you gotta look at context too. You're going against a number 3 corner. Whereas against Baltimore, DJ Moore, he wasn't going against a number 3 corner. You know what I'm saying? If anything, he'll go against a number 2 corner. And in most cases, it was probably number 1 corner. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely producing, at a high level because Torrey Smith was out. So he's definitely producing at a high level. And most likely, he's going to get the starting job soon. Now, mind you, part of the problem with this whole situation is that Ron Rivera tends to lean towards the veterans. He tends to lean towards that side, even though, the younger guys are better. And my motto, man, let the young boys play, man. I've been saying that since my live stream. Let the young boys play. But, Ron Rivera tends to lean towards the veterans. He tends to lean towards the experience. But I think DJ Moore puts us in the best course of action to win games. Obviously, we've seen what he could do against Baltimore Ravens, and obviously Ravens defense is number 1 before this game, or before that game, whatever. So I think DJ Moore definitely should start. I think he should, get starting time, whatever. But we'll see how that plays out because, I don't think Torrey Smith has the attitude either where he'll be like, oh, nah, I ain't get on the bench. But we'll see how that plays out because, like I said, Ron Rivera tends to lean towards the veterans over the rookies. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he wants their experience. He likes their experience, whatever. But I think DJ Moore's upside can out-trump that. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully DJ Moore keeps getting snaps, keeps getting starts, man, and can make an impact for us. In other news, Brian Baldinger basically said why he believes Donte Jackson should be the Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I totally agree. I've been saying this for a while. He played like a baller. He's balling out, you know what I'm saying? He's not getting as much picks as he was, but I think that's because people are just targeting him less. But he's shutting people down, man, especially speedsters. He shut down John Ross. He shut down John Brown. He's out here shutting people down. You know what I'm saying? All these fast receivers, man, you got a tough task when you go against Donte, because he can keep up with you. He's very physical. He tackles well. He's just a baller, man. Brian Baldinger did a whole freaking video of why he should be Defensive Rookie of the Year, and I totally agree, man. It's crazy. Like him and Eric Reid are both gelling at the right time, but it just shows that our drafting this year, and some people are saying it's because of Marty Herney, but these are like two of the best draft picks we had in a while, man. And if you think about it, both our first and our second round pick were dynamic, you know what I'm saying? Or both of them are big impact players. I mean, DJ Moore, I think, could be a very big impact player for us if he was on the field more, and I think he is going to be on the field more, a lot more. So, and Donte Jackson, since he started or whatever, which he got to starting job off rip, he's been an impact player for us. So, and even Ian Thomas has been playing really well. So, obviously Marty Herney definitely knows how to draft well. Obviously, you know, he brings something that Dave Gettleman didn't really bring to the table as far as drafting. So, you know, I don't know, man. Donte Jackson is definitely playing like, you know, a baller. He definitely should be in Defensive Rookie of the Year category, man. For me, I mean, he got 3 interceptions. You know, he got a sack. He just, you know what I'm saying, he's just doing his thing. And I mean, he even tackled Ezekiel Elliott. This man is like 5'10", probably like 180 pounds, you know, if that. And he tackled Ezekiel Elliott by himself, solo tackle. You know what I'm saying? So Donte Jackson's playing like a baller, man. And just our rookies in general are playing like ballers, man. And that's definitely a good thing for us. That's definitely something that we need currently. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know, he has some help. You know, obviously, like I said, you know, Luke Kuechly is definitely, you know, want to help him get acclimated. James Bradbury, you know, obviously going to help him get acclimated. But getting rid of Darryl Worley was the best thing we ever did, man, because we would not have got Donte Jackson if we didn't get rid of Darryl Worley. And Donte Jackson is playing great, man. So, you know, him, and what funny thing is, too, is, you know, now that Eric Reid has been in the lineup for a little while, he's gelling well. So now our secondary is coming to fruition. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gelling well. Everybody's, you know, understanding what their role is and fitting in well, man. So, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Donte Jackson, like I said, should be Defensive Rookie of the Year. I can't make a case for DJ Moore yet because he hasn't, you know, had the stats like that yet. But I don't know, man. Keep an eye out for him too, because if he gets more snaps and he gets more attempts and stuff like that, whatever, he can put up big numbers in the second half of the season and maybe still at water weight. And that would be cool that we can, you know, get an offensive and defensive rookie of the year like the Saints did before us. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that whole thing plays out, man. But Donte Jackson's balling out. He's balling out so hard. You know, like I said, the old Ravens coach had to say, hey, man, this kid's balling. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. I think he definitely deserves Defensive Rookie of the Year, but we'll see how it goes. I think they're leaning more towards Derwin James and Denzel Ward, the bigger names. But I think Donte Jackson, even though he's not one of the big names like, you know, they expected and they wanted, I think he's playing just as good as anybody else, man. So finally, the Panthers had stayed pat, you know, during the trade deadline. They, you know, in the beginning of the day, they said they weren't gonna be that active, whatever. They like their team, they like the chemistry they have, whatever. And I wasn't necessarily for that, man. Obviously, I said, you know, maybe try to go out and get Lando Collins, try to get Patrick Peterson, and you know, for the Lando Collins situation, they said those, you know, the asking price was too high. They said everybody was, you know, obviously the Giants asked for a second rounder for him. I'm like, you know, I don't think that's too high, but you know, I understand if they don't want to go that route. And Patrick Peterson, obviously, nobody really asked for him at all. But you know what I'm saying? But I definitely thought that they should have did something, you know what I'm saying? Because it's, you know, you want to win now. You want to be in win now mode. Obviously, Janoris Jenkins is, you know, was on the Giants. You could probably try to get him. But even, perfect example, you know, you could even got a pass rusher. Like, the Rams got Dante Fowler Jr. for a 3rd rounder and a 5th rounder. I mean, to be honest with you, we're going to probably get a congressional 3rd round pick for the, Andrew Norwell going to the Jaguars. So, you know, that's probably, you know, going to happen. So why would we not trade a 3rd and a 5th to get Dante Fowler Jr.? Because, and you know, to be honest with you, Julius Peppers is, you know, older. He's going to retire probably after this year. Mario Addison's in his 30s, you know what I'm saying? So, and Wes Horton has not been, you know, the breakout player we expected him to be. And just in general, we kind of let our DNs deteriorate to a point where we don't have any really young, dominant DNs like we did in the past. So, I thought the Dante Fowler Jr. thing would have been a good idea in that sense. And we would have definitely had the money for him because, you know, at the end of this year, we have a lot of cap space opening up. So maybe even getting a Dante Fowler Jr. or just, you know, doing something to help, you know, your team out, whatever. Now, mind you, I understand that you don't want to mess up the chemistry. I understand that you don't want to, upset the apple cart and lose some draft picks and stuff like that, because obviously Marty Hurney can draft well. Obviously, I've been talking about that all video. DJ Moore and Donte Jackson are both ballers, and they're part of the Marty Hurney regime. But, I think it'll have been helpful, man, if anything. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be able to produce and get out there and impact the game. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. That's just me personally, whatever. I understand and I respect them, because obviously that's, they're the head coaches and the GMs of the team. They obviously feel a certain way, but I'd rather be the guys that are trading and trying to get, better, so we can, keep up with the Rams, with the Saints, you know what I'm saying, with all this. Because, again, in our division alone, we still got to play Julio Jones again. We got to play Calvin Ridley again, you know what I'm saying. Now, mind you, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Mohamed Sanu are all on the same team. So we got to play those guys again. We got to play Michael Thomas, and the Saints, you know what I'm saying. We got to play Mike Evans and the, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then, we still got to play Antonio Brown and a bunch of other host of receivers. So, I definitely would have wanted to bring secondary help, but like I said, they feel comfortable with where they're at. They feel comfortable with the chemistry, and I guess they want to stick with it. But for me, I would try to get some kind of secondary help, because if you get if your secondary gets solidified by another good player, it'll be really hard to neutralize. You know what I'm saying? It'll be really hard to throw the ball on them, and we'll get a lot of coverage sacks just from that. So we'll see how that whole thing plays out, man. And a debate obviously that came up is because now Demaryius Thomas got traded to the Houston Texans. Who's going to have a better second half of the season? DJ Moore or Courtland Sutton? Now, Courtland Sutton kind of was in the same situation as DJ Moore. Courtland Sutton couldn't really get on the field as much because Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. So now they traded Demaryius Thomas, and now Courtland Sutton is going to get more playing time. Whereas DJ Moore's situation, Torrey Smith is injured, and he still hasn't practiced this week. So DJ Moore is probably going to get a lot more playing time, whatever. So we'll see who kind of has a better second half of the season, a breakout second half, whatever. But like I said, I'm leaning more towards DJ Moore. Now, mind you, Courtland Sutton's a possession receiver. He's the one jumping in the air, snatch the ball out the sky. But I'll take the speedster, the route runner, you know what I'm saying? He can get vertical if he so chooses. But, I'll take that guy over, just a flat-out possession receiver, because as far as, route running and speed, I think DJ Moore got him in that aspect. So it's crazy, crazy week, man. But these draft picks that we got are pretty good, man. And our situation just doesn't seem bad. But I just wish we were more aggressive on the, acquiring talent side. So, well, that's it for me, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share cool things like Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and wherever else. And guys, get in the comment section, man. Let me know what you think about DJ Moore being rated as the best receiver, rookie receiver from in Pro Football Focus. Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section. How do you feel about Brian Baldinger saying that Donte Jackson should win Defensive Rookie of the Year? I agree, but let me know how y'all feel about that. And also, man, do you think the Panthers should have got aggressive during the trade deadline or try to trade for anybody? And if you do, put in the comment section of what you think we will trade for, or whatever, or whatever, present it to the team, so we can have that discussion, man. So, get in the comment section. You already know. Show love. Check out the LCameraTV apparel, shirts, hats, mugs, all types of cool stuff. The link's in the description below. Support the channel, support me. You already know what it is, man. Check out the Patreon page. The link is also in the description below. Exclusive content, blooper reels, all kinds of cool stuff. Shots out, all that. Check out the Patreon page. That link is also in the description below. Check out my dog Renonstein's video. His video is going to be at the very end screen of mine. Very funny dude, very talented. I think you guys really like his stuff, man. Keep that trickle effect going. And, share this with all your Panther family, friends, anybody football related, anybody Panther related, anybody anything related, whatever. The weekend's coming up soon. Football's going to be here soon, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to have to get live on that. But share this with all your Panther family, friends, anybody Panther related, whatever. And thank y'all for always supporting and showing love and tuning in and, subscribing, man. Subscribers steady, keep on growing. Keep that growth going, man. And thank y'all again. And I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.